Hey Chims. First off, happy Pride Month. I know I haven't gotten like a video out acknowledging that yet, but it's important that we have a talk. I know that overall, I don't do a lot of politics on my channel. It's more when politics are relevant, I will talk about it. I'm not saying that I am dodging politics all the time here. It's just I don't bring it up until like it's relevant to the conversation. That being said, we need to have just a moment here. It's Pride Month, and I have been thinking about what Pride Month really means to me. Yes, there's the exciting parties, all the fabulous drag queens putting on shows, entertaining the queer masses, and the allies, of course, and of course those that just kind of want to be there because it's the party. That's great and all. There's corporations, acknowledging we exist. Nice PR stunt. Thanks. I want you all, at some point, even if you decide to immediately leave now, I need you to take a moment to go read about the Stonewall riot. I didn't learn about the Stonewall riot until my first, Pride Festival back in 2019. And, I was wondering what Stonewall was all about, and I had talked to some folks, and they willingly talked to me about it. I'm going to take my jacket off. Oh, there we go. And that's when I learned that, the first Pride was a riot. That's what they mean by the first Pride was a riot. We refer to Stonewall, where Marsha P., many other queer folks threw the first bricks, at the New York police when they were conducting raids on, hotels or bars that were hosting queer people having some events, getting together. Man, does that sound oddly close to what's happening today? Not so much to the queer community, but with the immigrants. But, of course, we're not too far either from it. Now, I'm not going to be here to just doom and gloom the entire thing, but I feel this is important that we need to talk about. Because of the actions of Marsha P. and the many who, gave their lives in the Stonewall riots and many other demonstrations, including like the AIDS epidemic that happened, we and when I mean we, I am meaning, younger Gen X, I think you're still you might be part of that but I'd say you're still around for like some of the real tough times of it. But I'm talking to the millennials, the zillennials, Gen Z, and also, of course, Gen Alpha. I don't know why you're watching my channel right now in the year 2025, but I guess this is a safe enough video for you to watch. We have it so easy. We had it so easy for a time. I will admit it. We did. I remember, election day 2020, I went to go get HRT and things were looking up. The Orange Menace was gone. We were on the upswing. And, I found time to actually discover who I was. It's 2025. Trans rights continuously over the past 4 years. I thought, we'd be in the clear. But, once, the new administration when Biden's administration came in, but they didn't really do jack squat for us. Now, there's so much legislation out there that even, especially for Florida and for Texas especially, I fear for the fellow queers of Florida and Texas. It's time that we as a community need to do more for those that are currently stuck in places that don't want them. Allies, fellow brothers and sisters, other members of the LGBT community. I don't know how many this is going to reach, and I hope it reaches as many as it can. We gotta help them. We have to help our brothers and sisters who are stuck in places where it's not looking up. I am so fortunate that Emeron and his wife are, strong allies to the community. That they willingly opened up their home to us, for us to, come down here. And I understand we're in Arizona. We tried for Colorado. We just couldn't make Colorado happen. So we're seeing what we can do in Arizona. But I just want you to understand, I don't make this empty plea. This is very much more, I'm asking you guys, take steps to do something. Check in with people. See if you know folks that might be willing to take in, a fellow brother or sister or sibling. In the case of the NBs, I'm so sorry, NBs. Do what you can to help them. If you can't take someone in, that's okay. Make sure they're fed. Make sure their meds are getting paid for. I'm not demanding that you hand over, a whole bunch of money. But do what you can, where you can, because we're losing brothers and sisters and siblings. And everyone was just like, well, we got through the last Trump administration. Not all of us did. And for me, I didn't even figure out that I was queer. I was only, I only thought I was gay at the end of Trump's administration. But, Obergefell stood, so I thought we were fine. That wasn't the case. And it continues to snowball and snowball and snowball. We gotta fight back. And I know I'm just one voice, but I hope that to you, even just making sure that your friends are okay. Figure out if you can help them. At least take a little weight off of them from time to time. That's going to be important. When I met Valkayrie, and Valkayrie and I, our history, it starts off with us meeting in VR chat, drunken night, how the story goes, and then, it's that for the VR chat crowd, how the story goes. Meet up with someone, next morning it's a text of, hey. It worked, and it seemed to work out. Valkayrie was getting evicted from her place in Colorado because her roommate, pulled the rug out from under her. I did everything to make sure, even though I was, trying to take care of myself and my roommate at the time, I was trying to figure out if Valkayrie could move in with us. My roommate was not comfortable with that. It's fine. We all have boundaries. To a degree. But this was my first mistake. I should have, put my foot down that we brought, Valkayrie in. Either way, she goes out to San Francisco with a mutual connection that we know. And we go there, and she's out there for a year. Things aren't working out. Things are degrading. And once again, I did everything I could to make sure that she made it to Nebraska when Nebraska was home. I did everything to ensure that she got, home. There was so much put into it because I loved her that much. First time she stepped off that train, that feeling of, going through hell for this person, and finally they're there, they're safe, they're with you. I there is something about that feeling that I can never replace. Now she's my wife. After we found out about how the election ended up, we had to really figure out who was our friends, who were our allies, who were, they supported us. That was about it. Valkayrie and I had to figure out, okay, we were going to try to go to Colorado. We couldn't really find anyone that could really open their door to us, like, long term. Because it's hard, having to pick everything up and move because of extenuating circumstances. Things were getting bad where we were living. Sorry about the voice cracks. It's just... This is a very tough thing for me because, the Midwest, I had always known as a place of, neighborly love. People looking out for each other. I don't know what happened to the place that I called home. Hell, my birth state, Iowa, was the 3rd state to allow gay marriage. And now they have wiped trans people off the Bill of Rights in Iowa. I am still struggling to wrap my head around the fact that this was where I grew up. But luckily, we were able to move thanks to the help of you lovely community members, a lot of extra overtime, and of course, Emeron and his wife opening up their door to us. That, my friends, is what I think about Pride. It's our continued fight against those that try to continuously remove us from society. So, for anyone who made it to this part of the video, I have a few things that I am simply asking you to do. 1, I need you to go read about the Stonewall riot. You don't need to read all the details, but I want you to at least get a nice general overview of what the Stonewall riot was. 2, I want you to go read about it. Take a moment to learn a little bit about the AIDS epidemic that struck the queer community and how we had to fucking, demand. Well, I mean the ancestors before us had to demand that it was dealt with. I want you to, take time to look at other historical events, especially also, as it is like over 11 years now. I want you to go look at Hodges versus Obergefell, the court case that secured gay marriage. I want you to look at all the cases involving same-sex relations. I am not asking you to, get into the graphic details. I want to make that very abundantly clear. But I am asking, if you are really an ally, take a moment to look at some of the most landmark things and what happened that pushed us to that point to where we had to become so loud that the federal government had to hear us. All we want is to live. All we want is to be a part of this country. But it seems more and more this country doesn't want us. There are many here that hope. There are many, I imagine, amongst my community and other parts of the community that just hope that it just crumbles. I do think there's still a chance for us yet. But there's many that just do hope that, the institutions go away. governance goes away and, you know, we can do our thing. I'm not going to get into that. That's people's personal views. If that's what they wish, that's what they wish. But I tell you this. My grandparents, people that accepted me when my own parents wouldn't, even though unfortunately my grandparents never got to meet me after my transition. My grandparents came over here and were accepting of everyone. My grandfather, who was a very devout member of his church, treated queer people with the respect they asked for. Whenever he got it wrong, he always corrected himself. I know this is a little bit of a long-winded video. There is still some good out there. But I do believe what pride means to me is that we continue our battle for our existence, no matter what the cost is, and no matter what steps we must take to get it done. I'm ready. There are many, many people that are ready for when things hit the fan. But I hope we never have to get to that point. But we are ready to take care of our own. Find your people, find your community, learn about our history, learn their names. Know what brought us where we were and how we're going to continue to fight what we're dealing with today. I love you all. Happy Pride. And to my fellow queer brothers and sisters and to my fellow intersex folks, we are going to get through this. I know this is going to be the hardest fight that we're going to have to fight for as of this time, and it may get tougher. Prepare yourselves. We can get through this. Much love. Take care out there. Bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.